here. So, oh, can we, we're probably going to try to wrap this up. Whoa. All right, we're back on live. I just wanted to kind of run through this real quick. I know I just made a long video and we didn't really get to the bottom of it, but hey, this is a test trial sample and we're going to be able to actually see what we can get through and what we can't. I'm going to try to share this to my Aunt Bonnie. Share, copy the link. Have relocated. Now, this video is not for kids, so I really hate to disrespect. I guess I can't smoke because we're in the house of God when we're in our studies. So, and I kind of need to turn this light on. Hold on just a second. Oh, okay. So we got a little bit more light, not real too much. So Genesis 1:6, then God said, let there be a space between the waters to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth. And that is what happened. God made this space to separate the waters. Listen to how great this is. God talking about how he's manifesting and creating everything that exists. Creating the earth didn't have any shape, didn't have any form. It's just amazing. And you know, when you're younger, you kind of think, this is all kind of mumbo jumbo. But as you get older, you come to realize there's a lot more significance than you think, especially with all this stuff going on over in Israel. If you hadn't already read through Revelations and you haven't really been, getting with the Bible and stuff like that, you're probably like, what the shit? But if you had heard this like 20, 30 years ago, and this stuff is thousands of years ago. So, I mean, how crazy is that? That's not conspiracy when it's in the Bible, right? Or right. So, one quick thing I want to mention, since I'm sure my Aunt Bonnie's probably on here. I mentioned to her, I have a friend who told me they were a flat earther. Now, I respect this individual. So, we're probably at some point going to take a look into some of that rabbit hole. But for now, we're covering Genesis. And I just think it's so wonderful. Yes, there's my Aunt Bonnie. I'm on. What's up, girl? Thank you for tuning in. There's Logan. Hey, what's going on? I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Are you from Ohio? No, I'm from Kansas City. Thank you. She shared. Awesome. Yeah, get some conversation, some dialogue. That's the whole point of this thing. Sorry I screwed up the initial setup. Basically, we're having a Bible study. I'll work on the title and stuff on that better. Basically, gave a little rundown on basically this new study guide Bible that my aunt got for me. This one's for men. It's absolutely amazing. And we kind of did a little breakdown on what the book was written for, who, when, where, why. All of life's wonderful questions, that really people are asking on a regular basis. So I was initially going to try to run a 30-minute deal, but we may end up running over. Looks like when this kind of stuff starts getting shared, it's really going to be a big deal. So I really look forward to that. I'm Mexican. Okay, Alex, he's in Mexico. So I'm going to not really look at the commenting right now. I'm just going to keep going into what I was talking about because I have a limited time to cover some of this. So we're at the point where God's created the heavens and the earth, day 1. Day 2, he separated the skies from the water and the heavens. God called the space sky. Pay attention to what some of this stuff is saying. And then, feel free to jump in. At some point, we're going to end up doing a deal where I can invite other people to join the live, and that's going to be really cool. So I look forward to that. Chapter 1, verse 9, then God said, let the waters beneath the sky flow together into one place, so dry ground may appear. And that is what happened. God called the dry ground land and the waters sea, and God saw that it was good. You see, when you have this feeling that stuff is bad, you didn't get that from God. So when you get that feeling That when you see everything in nature and you see God's beautiful creation, God saw that as good. So if we're seeing something that's not good, it's not of God. And I think that's really, a useful point of reference here. And that's why I'm getting into this journey, getting into the Bible and looking through to my instruction manual. Because what do we do when we need to fix things? We get the manual, we get the directions, and we see where we went wrong. Then God said, let the waters beneath the sky flow together into one place, so the dry ground may be. God called the dry ground land and the waters seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, let the land sprout with vegetation, every sort of seed-bearing plant, and trees that grow seed-bearing fruit. These seeds will then produce the kind of plants and trees from which they came, which means they're going to be constantly making more. It's going to give us everything that we need, and it's such a beauty. Now we're going to create the plants and the water and the skies and the land and the heavens, all of it. The land produced vegetation, all sorts of seed-bearing plants and trees with seed-bearing fruit. Their seeds produce plants and trees of the. And this is the thing; these things are for us. God created man and woman to reign over all the plants, all the animals, all the plant, all the water, all the land, everything. And it says that right here in the Bible. This is why I absolutely love this first chapter of the Bible. It's just amazing. I absolutely love it. Their seeds produced plants and trees of the same kind, and God saw that it was good. And evening passed, and morning came, marking the third day. Goodbye, Booney and Mr. John Lee. We'll see you later, Alex. Tune back in. I'm going to try to do these things like every day between 3:30 and 4. See if we can find a better everything to sustain us. That's right, and that's what's so beautiful about it. We look to externalize all these other things, which we can get into at another time, as far as modern day things. Uh, but there's no need to externalize the Holy Spirit and your instruction manual. It's internalized, and that's the point. We're born with everything that we need and given everything that we need to be perfect, just the way we are where we are on this planet. So there's no need for all this greedy conspiracy crap where profit is more important than humanity. It wasn't designed that way, and nor should it be. Chapter 114, then God said, let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night. Let them be signs to mark the seasons, days, and years. This is beautiful. The exact moment to the verse. You can find the Bible verse that explains exactly when God created these things. So this isn't even a guess. If you truly believe that this material is holy and pure and all-knowing and omnipotent, then this Bible verses tells you exactly what you want to know if you want to know the truth about where shit came from or what its purpose is or what it means. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Let these 115, let these lights in the sky shine down on earth. And that is what happened. God made two great lights, the larger one to govern the day and the smaller one to govern the night. To me, I believe that's when God is saying that he created the heaven or the sun and the moon. He also made the stars. God set these lights in the sky to light the earth, to govern the day and night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. God created everything so perfectly and harmoniously and beautifully that everything is absolutely perfect by design. And that's cut and dry, black and white. And he found that it was good. He didn't just create it and say, I'm not so sure about this. It was with precision and balance. Yes, Bonnie, perfect, harmony, everything. And chapter 119, and evening passed and morning came, marking the fourth day. Man, this is just wonderful. If you don't feel something when we're going over this, it's not touching you. You're not listening to what you should be listening to, because this is the answer. This is the answer. This is just the way it is. So, chapter 120, then God said, let the waters swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind. So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water and every sort of bird, each producing offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Everything that God created was good. The fish, the sea, the water, the skies, the land, the space, the sky. I just repeated myself, but the universe, the stars, the sun, the moon, all of it in a perfect, delicate balance to complement every aspect of the functionality and purpose and meaning of all of it functions in perfect harmony together. If that's not amazing to people out there, I don't know what is. If you're looking for a divine revelation, what is that? How is that not that? Chapter 1, Genesis, verse 20. Chapter 1, verse 20. Then God said, let the waters swarm with fish. We read that. Then, we'll continue on. Then God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply. Let the fish fill the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth. And evening passed, and the morning came, marking the fifth day. I just think that's beautiful. Then God said, let the earth produce every sort of animal, each producing offspring of the same kind, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and wild animals. And that is what happened. God made all sorts of wild animals, livestock, and small animals, each able to produce offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. I just love that everything, it just comes along and explains everything in detail, in what order, and for what purpose. Then God said, and this is one of my favorite verses in the Bible, because this is the part that explains where human beings came from. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, let us. Now I find that to be interesting, and I want to talk more about this at some point. Let us make human beings in our image to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock, all the wild animals on the earth, and the small animals that scurry along the ground. This is why we were created and given this purpose. This is the moment of all existence when God created man, humans, right here. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, let us make human beings. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? So God, chapter 1, verse 27. So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and govern it. Reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and all the animals that scurry along the ground. Then God, look, I have given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees for your food. And I have given every green plant as food for all the wild animals, the birds in the sky, the small animals that scurry along the ground, everything that has life. Everything. And that's why, so he set everything up for us before, and it's so perfect. Like you couldn't have scripted and designed or engineered a more perfect existence of the universe. And that is what happened. You feel me? So when it says God did this, you can kind of bet your bottom dollar that God did that. Verse 31, then God, and this is the final chapter, Genesis 1:31. Then God looked over all he had made, and he saw that it was very good. And evening passed, and morning came, marking the sixth day. That's Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 through 31. And, I hopefully you can gather just from me reading that why I found it so significant. I hope that other people can find some significance in these little amen is right, man. I mean, that is moving. That is inspiration. That is what I'm here for. That is what I want to pass on. That is what I want to know. That is what I want to be. That is what I want to inspire other people and help other people see that it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter if you thought something else. It doesn't matter what pain you have. It doesn't matter how bad you are. You're still good to God because you were created that way. And there's just so many beautiful things in the chapter 1 of Genesis, and I absolutely think that there is every single ounce of inspiration that we have to learn from in that chapter. And I recommend that everybody get their Bible out every single day and start your day with just opening it and just whatever you find, go right to it. I did that earlier, and I've noticed since then I've been getting pushed and pulled to, seek out different wisdom from different parts of the Bible. And I opened it earlier just to open a section right to Joseph. Every single part that I am reading and feeling led to or moved to dive into has something that I can gather, something I can learn from, something I can apply to my life, something I can share with others. And hey, I really owe a lot of that to my Aunt Bonnie. She's the one that really got me amped up on it. I've been amped up on it, and I've been praying for the wisdom, to know what to do and what choices to make so that I'm following God's plan for myself and my family and not my own. I don't want to fail because I didn't listen to God. I don't want to not be, in God's good graces. I'm here to do what I'm supposed to do as a friend, as a father, as a brother, as a nephew, grandson, nephew, husband, best friend, all these things. That's what we're all here for. We should be here together for each other. And the way that this country has been running and moving away from any kind of, transcendent spirituality and pretty much saying, we don't need God, we can do this without you. Well, I'm here to tell you, people, that's what I thought I was going to do most of my life, and resented God because I thought I was going to do it my way. And it led me to the very end of my road where I had no other choice but to actually say, you know what, God, have it your way. I don't want to do it my way, because my way, it's not fulfilling. It's not rewarding. It's not full of purpose. My way is just me trying to figure it out, saying, I don't need God. I don't need any of that. I don't need this instruction manual. I don't need any guidance. I don't need any wisdom. I don't need any love of spirituality or guidance. I can figure it out for myself. And that's not true. And I have found that I jumped in both feet, and I knew that I had to have faith. I didn't have to have a plan, but I knew that if I prayed for the wisdom, the instructions and the guidance would come to me. And boy, can I tell you, it really lit a fire in me to, get into the Word and really start doing everything in my human, God-given, talented ability to share this information, spread this message, and do my part to try to help save the world, because it needs it more now than ever before. And you know what? I ain't having it. I ain't having this BS non-God having country. In God we trust. This is some stuff I've been talking about for a while. So this was basically just our chapter 1 review. Absolutely wonderful. I thought it was great. I hope everybody enjoyed that. And I can see that maybe we're going to have to probably plan on a good hour, 30 minutes to an hour, give or take, because there really is a lot of information. And some of this stuff is so good. How can you not just read it and share the, straight from the horse's mouth itself, right to the people? Then we can go over it and see what we think. But that was pretty self-explanatory for the first chapter. Think that that's good for now. Let's reconvene, see what we think, come back tomorrow, and go to chapter 2. I've already covered that section. It's another favorite section of mine. That's where our favorite component in life comes to be, from our ribs. So, man, what a beautiful story. I look forward to reading more and being more inspired to keep going and keep learning and keep passing it along. So I'm John Lee. If you like videos like these, hit that like and subscribe button for me. Ring the bell for notifications. I'm on to the next one. We'll see you soon.